Morning guys, it's January the 22nd, I'm Henry Green from London Trading Group. I'm just going to run through what should be quite an interesting market today actually. So I normally start with Eurodollar, but today I'm going to start with a couple of the commodity currencies and cable, because I think that they formed a pretty nice bottoming kind of round off, and I think they could be pretty interesting. So I'm going to start with cable. So cable we've found, so on the day you can see how it's not pulled back yet to the 38, so this was kind of an instant fail zone that we talked about before, this 127 zone. So I kind of expected it to hold up here, so we have since bounced and we could now see this retrace. So there's two key things I'm looking for. Firstly, on this 60-minute, it's got to break through this channel. If it holds on this channel, then again you've still got to be looking for the short side in this, and people will be panicking that now this is turning. So just got to be careful. If it rejects off this counter trend line here, this is my outermost channel line. As you can see, we've been in this nice downward channel for a long old time now, so just be wary of this area, and if indeed it goes through, then we can start to look for the top side. So in terms of if we just load the fibs in, what could we be looking for? So if we look on the top side now, it takes us to 143.50. So I know I've got a level up at 143.30, so maybe if we break through that could be the target, 143.30, which gives you sort of 80 or 90 pips to take should we close above that past market angle that I've got coming there. So we have also got this ATMA, so a close through here is going to be very bullish. This market is slowing down, and we have since turned. So I know that this rally in cable yesterday was due to Wheeler's comments saying that they wouldn't need to wait for this inflation to rise before they look to increase interest rates. So it was taken as a very bullish comment, and cable has since rallied on the back of that. So that's an interesting one to watch out for today. But potentially, if it holds, obviously we're still looking for the short side. But if it goes through, then our decision starts to change, and I'd probably look to take a small one long in cable. So Aussie's pretty similar. We've done something quite interesting in Aussie as well, so if I just flick the daily to that one as well. So we have bottomed out here, it seems. Again, overshot. We've not had that 38 pullback yet on the day, so we've held down here at the 118, and now we're back through this key level 69.50, and we closed nicely through that yesterday. So we are now back up at 70.30, which I had as another level as well. So what I expect today to happen is kind of we maybe rally a little bit higher, maybe get up to 50s. We then have another pullback, and then we probably can see this trade up to 71. I've got 70.70 as a good level, and that's where all the EMAs are coming in as well. So maybe we get a spike up to 71 to hit that D, and then we come off. So that's my plan for today. Good support, good resistance, so good sellers can be seen at 70.70. I think that's a good level there. But through that, then you've got a bit of clear space up to 71.64. So Aussie's a pretty interesting one as well. We could see this bounce. We are on the second fib swing up, and for me on the 60-minute at least, there's nothing to say that this market isn't turning now and we're going to go higher. So just play that one on with care, but certainly as high is my preference for Aussie today. Kiwi exactly the same. The chart's just as nice in Kiwi. We've pulled back and we've closed back through that key level. This was a really good level for me. Firstly, we had this one at 64.70 and 65.10. We've actually closed back through both of them, and now we could see this now trade higher. So what am I looking for? Well, if it's going to break, what we could potentially do is we could put this angle in. So the one that was holding nicely on the past market angle on a day, this one was moving really nicely. So if we just parallel this line and pop it into here, so we could at least see that. So maybe we get that move up to 66.20. I think that could be quite a good level. I've got a D, a 60-minute D up at 66.20. So yeah, I mean, they line perfectly up. So maybe we see the first push, second push, and then we go on the third one. So maybe we see 66.20 taken on today in the Kiwi dollar. Obviously, we've got to go through 65.70, which I've got as a really good level as well there. So just be wary of that one. But again, I think there might be a few people selling dollars today, so it looks like Aussie, Kiwi and cable could all rally, but obviously we've got to wait to see. I'm looking for confirmation that they're going to do that, so I'll be looking for my normal entries, but I'm looking for the long side of cable, long side of Aussie and the long side of Kiwi, and certainly the short side of dollar CAD actually, because this one's come off really nicely, and as you can see on my daily chart, we haven't got anything down here until we get down to 141. What's that level down there? 141.80 I believe. So we're nothing until we get down there. So on the hourly fibs, if we just load them, as you can see, we've gone through this past market angle, so everything's kind of blown. The EMAs have turned and crossed over, and now we can say that we're going lower. So if we expect this to still pull back in the market just like it would usually, we're seeing this. Let me just turn this up fib off. So we're on this first downward one. We've only retraced to the 23.6. So the first target now is between the 118 and the 127. So I'm looking down to 141s, between 141.60 and 141.30 is my first target. So Let me just load this to tell you exactly what the level is because I can't quite read it. 87. So right, so what we could do, we could spike below it and then close back above it. So maybe a first bounce in dollar CAD is down at here at between 141.60 and 141.30. I think that could be quite a good zone in dollar CAD certainly. So look for that to go. Again, how could you get into this? Past, I'd be going for a counter trend line break. As you can see, we've kind of failed at the 886. This looks like here, so we might get a little bit of a rally here. But I think through the lows, especially if you go through the lows, make a lower high on a 15. So if we just load that, yeah, if you go through the lows, make a lower high on the 15, and it takes these lows on, I think you can be quite confident that should sell off through there. So euro is actually is one of the only ones that's come off against the dollar. So we have retraced back up here, and so we are still targeting the lower levels in euro. It has to be that way. So we're back up at here. So the target now is 107.70 for euro dollar. So if I just load that chart, we normally go through this one first, but this was not a very bearish close at all. We have rejected off these lows. So there was a bounce at 107.80, which is now the target as well on the downside. So if we go through here, I think this is one of the only ones that is looking fairly bearish at the moment, but obviously we could still bounce. Key level down here for me is 108.20 again, and obviously it didn't really like the 108 yesterday on the news, so you've got to be wary of that one as well. But certainly this one looks like it could show its weakness today. But obviously if it does rally, I'll switch my ideas, and then we'll be looking at the top side and what is the feel on the top side. So if we do hold here, so we're down at the 61.8, so it could well hold, then we target back at the highs. The highs are back up at 109.80, so you could get those taken on as well. So it's an interesting day for euro. And finally, dollar yen. I've read something about the Bank of Japan worrying that this tapering that they're doing is too soon, and actually that they're not going to hit their target growth target by the time, their inflation target, with all this QE that they're not doing anymore. So potentially they increase their easing again, which will send dollar yen back up. And actually, if we're seeing weakness in the dollar, then the best ones to trade today are going to be the Aussie yens, the Kiwi yens, and the Aussie yens, Kiwi yen, and pound yen potentially. And I know they're all very overextended, so that could be a good idea for today. Certainly CAD yen as well. That's certainly overextended as well. So that's what I'll be looking for. So we're looking for potential commodity currencies to strengthen today. I'm looking for Canadian, Aussie, and Kiwi strength. Oil's bounced. In terms of a quick technical chart on that one, I can't quickly flip over, but what I can do is I think if I load it on, just because someone's asked me for my oil input. Well, at the moment I can tell you without loading the chart that oil kind of failed before it hit the lows of my recent fib swing, and we have bounced higher. So I boxed up the little overnight range, and we've broken out of that. So it looks like we're trading higher. The key levels to watch out for, firstly, at 31.20 in WTI crude. I think that's a really good level. I've got that as a good 2 retracement lows as well. So 131.20 is a really good level there. So if we close above that, then I think we could have a bit of a bigger retracement in this one. We've still not got back to the 38 in crude, so I have been charting it just like a normal technical analysis chart, and that's up at 32. So maybe we see a rally to 32 or into 33, but then I'm still targeting the lows, and I'm still very bearish on oil. So quick overview. I'm sorry, a couple of people have asked for me to go through that, but I can't change my screen at the moment. But certainly I'll go through a full analysis of oil at the weekend in the longer webinar that I'll do, which will be launched on Sunday in the evening, probably around lunchtime on Sunday. So again, click to subscribe. I think it could be a very interesting day. So just to say again, commodity currencies I think are probably going to strengthen today. You could see continued Aussie, Kiwi, and Canadian dollar strength. And I'm going to probably look to play them against the yen, probably maybe the euro if that continually sells off, and then we've got the pound, which also looks fairly strong today. So I hope that's been useful. Click subscribe to never miss one of our videos again. I'm going over to the virtual floor now, where myself and a couple of the other traders will be talking through the markets consistently for today. But I hope that's been useful, and happy trading. Thanks very much.